the first indicator of a serial killer, you freak.
There's 2 sons and no women. What the hell am I supposed to do?
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show. My name is Aaron.
I'm Venkman.
And you can check us out. We are online at BigDumbFunShow.com. That's right. Fan, friend, follow, like us. We've got the Facebook, the MySpace, the YouTube, and the Twitter. Check out our sweet, sweet toilet tweets at twitter.com/BigDumbFunShow.
I can't be the only guy out there that toilet tweets, that tweets on the toilet. I can't be the only one out there. But so I'm very excited about our next guest because we recently kind of became aware of this I say recently, but
it's been going on for a while.
It's been going on for a while, but I guess we have a friend of a friend, our buddy Todd Sheets is going to have a table at this Comic-Con, so I really started looking into it to see all the different people that are going to be there. Of course, most notably, panel by Jason P. Hunt is going to be there as well. So we'll talk to him later. But then I noticed that Tom Kane was going to be there, and I was like,
who?
Holy crap! I've got to get this exactly because most people are just like. I never heard of him, but yes, you have heard him because he's on like every damn commercial and movie trailer out there right now, and
he's on the phone,
and now he's on our phone. Tom, Dirk's got some like hardcore music in the background, like I thought was a welcome you in.
Sorry there.
That's not coming from me.
Nice intro
he's
music.
Got quite some hold music.
But, man, buddy, thanks for joining us tonight on the show. A huge fan, and I know that you're a fan of, or were a fan, I guess, of Don LaFontaine, like the godfather of voiceovers.
In a world.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever?
Don and I were friends for 20 years, and he was very helpful in getting me started in voiceover work, as he has a number of young pups that have come along over the years.
Yeah,
and,
he's got like a school out there or something, right?
Well, not really. I mean, right now, in honor of Don, a bunch of people got together and we all donated money to create the Don LaFontaine Voiceover Lab, which is at the Screen Actors Guild building, I believe. But that's happened after he died. But yeah, he never, there was nothing organized in any way. It's just, he would hear people working their pipes, and if he thought you had some potential or were good, he'd just talk to you and go for a drive in the limo and go to lunch, and he'd give you some tips, and it was amazingly helpful. Because he was so incredibly successful. It wasn't. I don't think he was ever worried about creating more competition for himself, because there really wasn't any.
Yeah, well, because that's the old gag is that you go up to a radio disc jockey and you say, "Oh man, how do I get into the biz?" And they'll say, "Don't."
Well, yeah. Well, that I get that all the time. I get there's two areas where I do most of my work, and that's in cartoons and in movie trailers. And they are the two hardest things to get into, just numerically. I mean, I tell people completely seriously, numerically, you stand a better chance of getting into the NBA than you do cartoons or movie trailers. I mean, when I started doing movie trailers back in the late 80s, there were, I kid you not, 6 of us, that did all the movie trailers that existed. And Don, by himself, did half of them. Don did in the world. Yeah. Yeah, and Don back then did half of them by himself, that one guy. So it's just now there's a whopping 20 of us. But I mean it's really still that small a clique.
Yeah, and so I guess we played a clip earlier in the show of some of your work that was happened to be
Booty Call.
Booty Call.
Oh my God! So
and what I have to, because you seem like a real classy guy. I watched a YouTube of a couple of panels that you did at some other Comic-Cons, and I just can't imagine like handing you a script saying, here we go, we want you to say
Booty Call, round booty, round fleshy globes. Yeah.
And it just like, do you ever get these and you're just like, no, I'm not going to read this, or is it all just like it's attached to a nice check? I'll go ahead and give it a whirl.
Yeah, well, like most voiceover guys, we're pretty much word whores for hire. So, I draw the line at cults and political ads pretty much. I just don't do any of that. Just it's too controversial. But
like when David Koresh calls, you're like, no, that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. When David Koresh decides to run for office, I'm turning him down.
Now, what style voices do you have? Like when you let's just go. I know you do a ton of cartoon work, and you're on Star Wars, Clone Wars, and you're just on Powder Puff Girls, and you got a lot of work that way. But when you're going into the movie trailers, I know that I watched a documentary with Don once that said he really only had like 3 or 4 voices that he would.
Well, yeah, Don. Well, he didn't even have that many. I mean, that 3 or 4 would be stretching it. I mean, he always made a big point of saying, I got one voice, I got one read, and I can make it. I can flavor it 3 ways. I can give you the horror, the action adventure, or the comedy. And if you started to direct him too much, he would literally reach over, pull off a yellow sticky note, write 3 names on it, and say, "Here, call these guys; they can help you out." And he wasn't. It wasn't that he was being, it wasn't being an a-hole. It's just he really didn't care. I mean, you got 15 minutes when you worked with Don.
Yeah.
And the new people that worked with him thought he was, just being a real prima donna. And it's like, no, this is a guy that literally was up against the clock. He couldn't do in a day what everybody wanted him to do.
How many do you have? If you're going to voice let's say a movie trailer, how many do you have? Do you think are you a little bit more versatile?
Well, yeah, I'm a different animal entirely. Because to me, I don't have it. I mean, just what you're hearing now is my voice, which is completely unusable for most movie trailers. To me, everything's a character voice. I'm a character guy. Mm-hmm. That's why I get so much work in the cartoon business, is because I'm a good mimic and I'm able to, do different voices. So when I do movie trailers, all the other movie trailer guys that I know of, that's their voice. I mean, if you woke Don up at 3 a.m. out of a sound sleep, he'd be like, "Yeah, in a world." That was him. And, Gary Owens is a perfect, Gary Owens, the Fickle Finger of Faith Award. If you wake Gary up at 4 a.m, he'll say, "Hello, Gary Owens talking." I mean, that's really the way, that's these guys' voices. But that's not what I do. So, it depends on the spot. I mean, if it's I don't know, Romeo and Juliet. The Romeo and Juliet trailers, I was doing sort of my Disney, it's Romeo and Juliet, rated PG, starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Yeah.
I do most of the Disney and Pixar trailers.
And people can.
So
I saw that Wall-E and Cars. You're the voice for the trailers on all of those.
Oh yeah, a bunch. And I just did Mars Needs Moms and Romeo and Juliet. And
do you mind hanging out with us? We can play one song, 4 minutes. We come right back. Talk to you a little bit about your voiceover work, and of course about your appearance here at the Comic-Con coming up.
You got it.
All right, we'll be right back with Tom Kane. Stay put, and maybe we'll hear some horror stuff out of it. Maybe some of the scary stuff when we come back. Who knows? Stay locked right here at the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Talkin' Rock.
As I watch through the doorway, such a